Good evening, Brian. It's Thursday, and it's time for a Thursday Top 5. Today, I'm going to talk about the top 5 favorite things that people love to complain about, myself included, that are actually better than we give them credit for. These are in no particular order, so here we go. The first one I want to talk about is on the computer, the "Are you sure" messages. These sometimes come up when you're going to delete a file off your phone or leave a page when you've entered information on it, etc. And it pops up a little message, and before it lets you continue, and it says, "Hey, you started to do this thing. Did you mean to do that thing? Cool. Here we go." I'm sure we've all had experiences where you accidentally click something that you didn't mean to click, and then there's no safety catch, and all of a sudden you close the tab you were on, or you close the page before you were done doing something on it. And so while it's super annoying that they pop up and interrupt what you're doing, they definitely save you some time. The second thing I want to talk about is similar. It's when you enter in a password and your little browser pops up and it says, "Do you want to remember this password?" And if you're someone like me who often says, "No, go away, no, go away," that's super annoying. As annoying as it is to constantly have this pop up every time that you're entering in your password, when you actually just embrace the service, it kind of makes your life a lot easier not to have to remember all these passwords. Plus, it allows you to use more complicated and secure passwords if you're letting your computer do the remembering for you. The next one I'll talk about is those little chimes in your car when you leave your lights on or leave your keys in the ignition, etc. These get super annoying, especially in situations where you don't need the reminder, like say I'm sitting in my parked car and I haven't gone inside yet and I open my door because it's hot, but then somebody texts me and so I'm responding to the text message. Because my door's open, if my keys are still in the ignition, there's a little chime that happens that says, "Hey, your keys in the ignition, hey, your keys in the ignition, you can't leave them here." And while that is kind of annoying, I have locked my keys in my car far more often than I would like to admit, and so having this annoying, incessant reminder, while it totally gets on my nerves, means that I am much less likely to leave my keys in my car. The next one I want to talk about, Brian, is tracking ads or tracking on the computer. Sometimes it's super weird where you might search for Amazon, on Amazon for something, and then all of a sudden you see ads for that same something everywhere you go on the internet. Every other page you look at, every list you read, on Facebook, everywhere. And that's kind of creepy, and you can definitely look into your security settings and change that if it's something that you don't like, but at the same time, it's kind of nice sometimes for you to remember things, maybe not specifically like seeing the things that you looked at in ads, but how your computer can remember things about you. For example, I often use my GPS for work because I go to lots of different locations, and it's nice that sometimes my phone will remember, "Oh, hey, you've been here before." So as I start typing the address, if it's like 123, sometimes before I even get to the 3, let alone having to type in the name of the street, it's like, "Hey, you recently were at a place that was 123 this place. Is that where you're going in?" "Oh, cool." So having all of that, the cookies that remember all that stuff and track it, is actually kind of convenient sometimes. And the last one I'll talk about, Brian, is autocorrect. And this one is probably the granddaddy of them all. People love to complain about it. However, I feel like this one especially suffers from the thing that all of the previous examples have suffered from, and that's the fact that when things are negative or they get on our nerves, it sticks out much more than when things work the way they're supposed to. For example, if you actually look at me texting, or you texting, or anyone texting, I'm sure, probably 90 to 95% of the times the autocorrect changes a word, it's changing it to the word that you meant to type, but your fat little sausage fingers messed up typing on the keyboard. Whereas the 5% chance of the time where autocorrect the wrong word is what sticks in your head. You're like, "Oh, stupid autocorrect messed up my texting." And so a lot of these things are things where if they work the way they're supposed to, we don't think about them, but we only notice the times when they don't work or when they get in our way. We don't really appreciate the times that they do good things for us. So with the spirit of that, I think we all need to take a break a little bit, take a breath, and try not to be so negative and complain about things, and realize that things do a lot of good for us that we don't give them credit for. And this automation that is happening in 2017 is pretty sweet and helpful. So that's it for this vlog, Brian. I hope you liked it. Hopefully it didn't run too long, and I'll look forward to seeing your video tomorrow.